Well, a very good afternoon and welcome to Lillehammer. The timing's somewhat awry here. We had two times to start, one at 35, one at 45, but they've gone at 32, 33, so apologies. But we are underway in the first medal competition in Lillehammer for the Junior World Championships, the women having centre stage on the normal hill as we get underway with the Gate 16 on a lovely day in Lillehammer. The trial round, a good number of potential medal winners over 90 meters. The gate from 17 down to 11 in the trial round, and unfortunately there, Eva Fracek of Poland, late off the takeoff, tips into her face, and unfortunately this will be a short distance for her. Just 54.5 meters for this Czech, 16 years of age, 15 to 19, the ages spread amongst the starters, 52 from 19 countries. Kahaku Hinomoru, 16 years of age, representing Japan, Hinomori. And in fact, this young lady going into third place, 85 meters. So just to catch up on the facts about this hill. A normal hill with the calculation line at 90 meters, the hill size at 98. So every meter beyond 90 will earn a bonus of 2 points for distance. Every meter short of 90, it'll be a 2-point deduction for every meter short. Shelina Vasa next to come. This is Joanna Enea for Romania. 16 years of age. Best she's managed in competition in the Continental Cup, 25th in Oberhof. And has competed in '40th in the Junior Worlds America in Lake Placid last season, and 75 meters. The favorites today, well, Ingvild Midtskogen for Norway, the defending champion, 18 years of age. Agnieszka Injakova for the Czech Republic, also an athlete to keep your eye on. They'll be coming much later towards the end of this first round. Maja Kovacic from Slovenia, another to watch out for. And also Usha Ture from Finland, who's been really consistent, perhaps the most consistent athlete of all the women in terms of training and in the trial round. Every single competition effort that she's made so far has been over 90 meters into the bonus area. '93 meters. The first athlete now, Elita Krasilskova from Latvia, really nice, and takes the advantage. Gate 16, 93 the distance, 92.2 total marks for distance and style. Ana Elisa Gurgu for Romania now. This the hill, of course, that was constructed in 1992 for the Olympic Championships of 1994. The hill on which Espen Bredesen of Norway took the Olympic gold medal for the men, and Lasse Ottesen, his Norwegian teammate, took the silver, and Dieter Thoma of Germany took the bronze. Now Ruleva for Kazakhstan. 17 years of age and experience in the Continental Cup here just recently. Outside the top 30 on both occasions, but not that far outside. Ruleva, who also was in Lake Placid last year, didn't finish inside the top 20, but that's good enough for Ruleva to go into second place, exactly 2 points or a meter behind the Latvian who leads the competition. And now for the home country, Tia Skadsem. Tia, just 16, again, has been on this hill. There are a lot of athletes who were here in the Continental Cup competitions not so long ago, the 31st of January and the 1st of February. And so this is a familiar hill to many of them. And that's also a very useful factor. Nice tuck as she comes down to the compression off the table. A little bit out of control and looked to save herself. Fortunately, no harm done physically, but I'm afraid that's going to take her out of the competition. Disappointment for the Norwegian. The Junior World Championships, 1977, they were started for the men. The first edition for the women, 2006 in Kran. Gillian Seyfarth was the winner on that particular occasion. And some famous athletes or names more familiar to us have triumphed here. Elena Rungaldier won in Hinterzarten in 2010. Sara Takanashi won in 2012 and 2013 in Erzurum in Turkey and Liberec. Colleen Mattel won in 2011 in Otapa for France, of course. Chiara Kreutzer, subsequently Olympic champion. She was junior world champion in Rasnov in Romania in 2016. Nika Voden, as she is today, winner in Switzerland in 2018 in Kandersteg. 2020, the now retired Austrian Marita Kramer won in Oberwiesenthal. Thea Bjørseth won for Norway in Lahti in 2021. And just keeping an eye here on Sofia Aragon. That, I'm afraid, is going to cost her a lot of points. And they're down in ninth place at the moment. Just going back to the Junior World Roll of Honor. Most recently, Nika Preots, dominant in the Women's World Cup, the winner of the Junior World title in Zakopane in 2022. Alexandra Lutit of Canada in 2023 in Whistler. 2024 in Planica, Tina Erza for Slovenia. And 2025, the defending champion here today, Ingvild Midtskogen, who was the champion just 12 months ago. So a famous Roll of Honor. And next up on the hill will be for the United States. Kaja Kopenhaver, another 16-year-old who also was here earlier in the season in Lillehammer for the Continental Cup, or the Intercontinental Cup, to give it its correct title. This young lady was outside the top 40 in Lake Placid last season. But great to see this new talent coming through for so many countries, in this case the United States. A really slight figure. Power to weight ratio is important. On her way, the green light. Still at gate 16. Unfortunately, those meters are not going to be enough. Inevitably, for a lot of the youngsters here, this is a stepping stone, a part of their education. But it could be, we don't know now, but it could be that one of these young women are going to emerge to be the next Nika Preots. Next on the hill, Caroline Shaw, a remarkable athlete representing Singapore, only 15. A point in the Continental Cup in Notodden in Norway in December. That was a personal best. So leading Krasil Shikova of Latvia at the moment from Victoria Ruleva. Saiko Fujimoto of Japan in third place. 2 meters separating the top 3. Great to see an athlete from a country such as Singapore, not noted for its winter sports, And that was a really decent effort. Sure. The meters are not too bad. The telemark lacking, but fourth place at the moment. Some hope to continue and strive for the podium. And now to Norway. Ingrid Viken Slatten. Effectively a home hill for her, but not able to really profit. Continental Cup or Intercontinental Cup, really her, excuse me, major experience in the sport at the moment. And again, 14s, 15s, I would have thought, style-wise, 15s, virtually a full agreement amongst the 5 judges there. And Anastasia Godunova for Kazakhstan. I think this is really good to see these youngsters from Kazakhstan. We've seen in the World Cup the likes of Ilya Mazurnik, who you'll see in the men's competition tomorrow, taking a step forward in the right direction, and hopefully this is going to be good news for the whole of the Kazakh team, who have in recent times sort of plateaued, but this is the new generation. Latvia, Kazakhstan, Releva, her teammate, in second place at the moment. Alisa Sedova for Kazakhstan, another new name to emerge, another youngster who's been in intercontinental action on this hill and has actually scored points this season. 27th and 30th in the 2 competitions. But it won't be much longer before this competition starts to move up. Emilia Widgren for Finland. Looking for that upper red line on the hill here. 2 or 3 meters short, but not much more than that. And again, Finland, another country which has been lacking success, but great to see these new youngsters coming through. Widgren, 18 years of age. A couple of 10th place finishes in Intercontinental Cup a couple of seasons ago. Tyrom for Norway, another 15-year-old. Well, it wasn't very elegant, but the distance will certainly help her. Christian Tyrom, 86 meters. The current leaders, Krasil Shikova of Latvia, 93 meters. Releva, 86 meters. Fujimoto, 89.5 meters. Caroline Chor of Singapore into 4th place. Sakamoto down to 5th. And this is Noelia Vurich. Noelia, this, believe it or not, her 5th Junior World Championship, but she's only 19 years of age. 19th in Planica in 2024 on Slovenian snow. That's the highest she's ever placed in this particular competition. And have a look for this young woman. Pretty good in the trial round. 95 meters from gate 17 in the trial round. Here we are from gate 16, 2-footed landing. Expensive in terms of style points. But 90 meters up to the calculation line. 60 points for distance. However, look at those style marks. 92.3. She does go into 1st place, but it should have been more. She really needed the telemark. Estella Hasrick from Steamboat Springs in the United States, famous for its really successful Nordic combiners, the likes of Todd Lodwick in years gone by. Also in the points in Intercontinental Cup here, 28th and 29th at the end of January, beginning of February. And now Mathilde Baconnier for France from the Club des Sports Courchevel. Courchevel, famous, of course, for hosting the 1992 Winter Olympics, the Olympics of which Toni Nieminen was so successful for Finland. Raina Lichman for Canada in the lead by 0.2. This, as I mentioned a short while ago, a competition which Alexandra Lutit of Canada was successful in Whistler Mountain on Canadian snow. Alexandra recovering from her ACL surgery. As ever, wishing her well, and we want to see her back as soon as possible. Aliona Svididenko for Kazakhstan. Short of the calculation line, unfortunately. You really need to be up and beyond the calculation line to be competitive in this first round. This is not about Intercontinental Cup points or Alpine points or FIS Cup points. This is all about gold, silver and bronze in the Junior Worlds. Nejedlova for the Czech Republic. 15th and 20th in the Lillehammer Intercontinental Cup competitions. .90 points, it's enough to push her into 4th place, and now just a meter separating the top 4. The margins for error are very small, particularly on a normal hill. Now watch out for this young lady. 2 efforts in the training rounds over 90 meters. Sara Pokorny touches down, representing Austria, just shy of that calculation line. But style marks will be better than a few, not the best, but 100.4 to give her the lead. And she's following, or will be followed by this young lady, her teammate, Luisa Tritscher from Ramsau in the Steiermark. 93 meters twice in training. The wrong side of the calculation line, unfortunately for her. So Austria with the advantage now, ahead of France. Sara Pokorny ahead of Mathilde Baconnier. Raina Lichman of Canada in 3rd place. Krasil Shikova of Latvia down to 4th, and Luisa Tritscher into 5th place. Anja Imhoff, this could be good. It is good. That's close to 90 meters. Anja Imhoff, well, I thought it was a little bit further. Sister of Reme Imhoff, who also represents Switzerland. 7th and 14th in the Intercontinental Cup, but Anja Imhoff with the marks taking her into 2nd place. Capucine Mesnil, 15 years of age for France. Corinne Mattel, a winner of this title many, many years ago. Mesnil, 94 big meters, 8 points of bonus for distance. Good style, surely new leader. 10th in Oberhof quite recently in Germany, her best ever in Intercontinental Cup. France with the edge. The experienced Tamara Mesikova, Slovakia. Nicely over her skis, but the wrong side of the calculation line in terms of bonus points. Mesnil of France, by the way, 10, almost 11 points, 5 meters ahead of the field at the moment, and leads those who've already qualified. Mesikova will be really disappointed with this. Down in 13th place and not in a qualifying position. Megilu Schmidt for Germany. Third place. And Barbara Stepankova of the Czech Republic, another 16-year-old in her first attempt at the Junior Worlds, about to take her turn. Good commitment there from her. 5 meters short of the calculation line. Just maybe a little bit too keen, a little bit too aggressive. 11th place, just outside the qualifiers at the moment. Mesnil, Pokorny, Schmidt, Imhoff, Bakonye, Lichman, Krasilnikova, Tricha, Nezhedlova of the Czech Republic and Ruleva of Kazakhstan. The 10 who have qualified, and now Leona Rungaldier, not actually related to Elena Rungaldier, who won this competition for Italy in 2010. That's a little encouraging for the Italian camp. 86 meters. Star marks, well, just about 15 or 16, 16. Top 5, gets a letter Q by her name. At the moment, 17 points, almost 9 meters behind. Watch out for this young lady now. 93 meters in the trial round. Anna Fey Schaffenberg for Germany. 93 meters. And the telemark was there. 17s, well, look at that, the judges, quite a mixture there. Some say yes, some say no, but it puts her into second place, 2 meters behind Capuchin Mesnil. And now Pia Sturz for the Austrians, 11th and 17th on this hill at the end of January, beginning of February. And this is where this competition should really begin to hot up now. But Pia, this will knock her really down, not enough in terms of the meters. That miss allows Barbara Stepankova of the Czech Republic to qualify. Chlukova for the Ukrainians. Over 90 meters in the trial round. Good effort from the Ukrainian. Very close to 1989.5. This should qualify, 4th place. And she's 6 meters behind Capucine Mesnil, who's 94 meters, keeping her out front. Emily Teuber now. Showed up well in training, over 90 meters a couple of times. But this is when it matters, and it didn't happen for her. Top 10 in the Intercontinental Cup rankings for the season. And that's real disappointment. You can see the front wind deduction there, minus 6.9. So just over 3 meters lost. And Aida Kozniak for Slovenia. Another woman who's been over 90 meters in training a couple of times, 90 and 91.5. Top 15 in the Intercontinental Cup here. 8th in the Junior Worlds in 2023 in Whistler. Her best ever result at this level. Slovenia at the moment with no impact on the leaderboard, and this is not going to change anything. But they have a couple of real talents still to come. Isadora Kopač for Slovenia. Like her teammate who just preceded her. 95 meters in the trial round. Very good. Good height, good flight, good points, good distance. And Slovenia suddenly arrive towards the top of the leaderboard. 93 meters. And that's into second place. Less than a meter, just over half a meter behind Capuchin Mezinil. Sandra Spock for the United States from the Norway Ski Club in her 4th Junior Worlds. Lovely skis, beautifully balanced. 92 meters. Gives herself a chance, this 18-year-old who was top 20 last season in Lake Placid on home American snow. And goes 3rd overall. Just over a meter behind the current leader. Now, this young woman has been super in training and in the trial round. 4 efforts, all well over 90 meters. That probably was her worst effort. A lot of movement during the flight, which the judges will pick up. And that's a real disappointment. I'm really shocked for her. 96 meters, 97 meters, 94 meters, and again 94 meters in the trial round. Everything had gone so well, and now when it really mattered, it's gone wrong. Surely not for this young lady, the leader of the Intercontinental Cup rankings, Julina Krajbic. 96 meters in the trial round, but from gate 15, 1 gate lower than where we are at this moment. Mesnil for France, Kopač for Slovenia, Sproch for the United States. That's the 1, 2, 3. Just over a meter separating the 3. Then Scharfenberg for Germany, ahead of Pokorny of Austria, Slokova of Ukraine, Julina Krajbic. Well, it's not commanding. It's enough to qualify. So 2 real surprises. Ture of Finland, a failure. Krajbic, subpar, only 6th. Not ruled out of it completely, but 5 meters off the lead. And Julia Akia for Finland. Over 90 meters in the trial round, 94.5. Akia, top 30 in the Junior Worlds in Lake Placid last season. .86.5 meters, good enough to qualify in the top 10, but to put it in perspective, that's 7 meters off the lead, which is a lot on this size of hill. Megan Wadsak for Austria now. From the Spring Club Wiener. just outside the top 10 in the Intercontinental Cup rankings. 11th in the Junior Worlds last season. And next up, Pola Beltowska of Poland. A really poor trial round. Let's hope she left the worst one behind. No bonus points, I'm afraid, for Pola. 14th in the World Cup in Falun this season. So the ability is definitely there, but 33rd, that puts her right out of contention. And here, Kira Maria Kapustikova for Slovakia, winner of the Continental Cup in Lillehammer at the end of January, beginning of February. Kapustikova just over 90 by a meter, 5th place. That gives her some sort of chance, 4 or 5 meters off the lead. Her brother involved in tomorrow's men's junior worlds, and now Sofia Mattila for Finland. Nice and quiet off the table, good effort, really good effort. 2-footed landing. The distance points will be her savior, not the style points. 99 meters. That's 18 points of bonus for distance. So you can see there the style marks. If you take the 14s, she should have got 18s. That's 12 points given away. Take the 12 off the 18s, that still gives her a profit of 6 points, which is 3 meters. Sofia Mattila with that terrific distance, but losing so many style points, down in 5th place. And the jury deciding that it's time with the front wind to change the gate. That's a little bit of a pity with so few more to come in this round. And Taya Turbovsek for Slovenia next up on the hill. Mesnil of France leading from Kopacz of Slovenia, Sproch of the United States in 3rd place. Front wind reasonably strong at the moment. This is the 3rd best youngster in the Intercontinental Cup rankings. 15th in Lubno this season in the World Cup on the normal hill there, but there's 1 or 2 who you might have thought would be contenders who are finding themselves way down here. Yuzuki Sato for Japan. 16th in China this year on the normal hill there. That's her best in Women's World Cup. 6th in the Junior Worlds last season in Lake Placid, and a gold medal with the junior team in the Japanese junior team success of 2023 in Whistler Mountain. A youngster to keep your eye on, bib number 49. Gate 15 at the moment, having gone down a gate half a meter. Gate compensation points in favor of the athlete to set against the front wind deductions. Just about the calculation line. .82.5 meters. My apologies for that misjudgment. And that, yet another athlete who we expected to be in contention, followed by Maja Kovacic of Slovenia. Surely she's going to make the grade here. and does get over 90 meters. 5.6 points, the number of points which the athlete has for the lower gate to set against the front wind deduction. And second spot for her, Kopač for Slovenia. Now 2 Slovenians in the top 3, and less than half a meter separating the top 2. Agnieszka Indrakova for the Czech Republic. On everybody's shortlist, this talented woman, 95 meters, new leader. 8th in the Junior Worlds last season in Lake Placid, 3rd in Villach in the World Cup, and now the defending champion, Ingvild Midtskogen of Norway. The youngest ever senior world gold medalist last year in Trondheim with her teammates Anna Strøm, Heidi Trasserud and Eirin Kvandal for Norway. A important milestone. 5th in the World Cup this season in Lillehammer. Her personal best. Last to go in this first round. It's Kogan for Norway. And a little bit of noise from the fans here. Not many, but encouragement always good. And 95 meters, 94 meters. Star marks will be solid and helpful, and takes the defending champion into second place behind Indrakova of the Czech Republic as we come to the end of the first round. Honours go to Agnieszka Indrakova of the Czech Republic, one of 2 sisters from that family involved in the sport. 2 points per meter, so the defending champion just over half a meter behind, then 2.5 meters back, Mesnil. Almost 3 meters back, Kovacic. 3 meters also for Kopač of Slovenia. And then the best of the Americans, Sandra Spoch. Well, she's within 4 meters. 30 to qualify for the final round. And Tamara Mesikova shouldn't be down in 30th place. And she scrambled into the final round, the last to qualify, but 14 meters. And there, bib number 35th place, Usa Ture. I can't quite believe that she and Vadsek, just 2 who I would have expected to see at least in the final round, and even better than that contending. Well, it's a gorgeous spring day here in Lillehammer. This is the Norwegian weather that we look forward to, the Norwegian weather that was so predominant throughout the 1994 Olympics. It was like this every single day of those games. And so these young ladies have got about 8 minutes to get ready. Those 30 who've qualified to go in the second round, which of course is the medal round. Their confirmation, in fact, it's, well, a little bit more than that, 16, 18 meters, 18 minutes, I should say, for them to get ready. And the young men who will be vying for the men's junior world title, they will take over for another training session later this afternoon, and the hill will be theirs tomorrow. So much to come. We have the team events coming up Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but also on FIS TV, competition from Lahti, the men and the women in action. And the men in action on Friday, that's the event from Ruka that was cancelled. It's a one-round competition only on Friday afternoon. to replace that lost Ruka competition. And it could well be the competition in which Domen Preutz wraps up the Crystal Globe for 2026 to add to all the fantastic gold medals and trophies that he's already collected. And by the time he's going in that competition, his younger sister, Nika, could have wrapped up the Women's World Cup, with both of them looking forward to collecting those fantastic trophies in Planica in a few weeks' time at the end of March. So just to repeat, Agnieszka Indrakova at the moment in gold for the Czech Republic, half a meter ahead of the defending champion Ingvild Mitskogen. Capucine Mesnil of France in the bronze medal position. Just behind her, Maja Kovacic of Slovenia, and her teammate Isadora Kopac. Then the American Sandra Spoch, 7.6. Well, 8 points would be 4 meters, so she's within that of the lead. Anna Schaffenberg for Germany, the best of the Germans on the hill at the moment. In 7th place, 4 meters to make up. Sofia Mattila of Finland, 5 meters to find. Kapustikova of Slovakia, the winner of the Intercontinental Cup competition. In fact, she was 1st and 4th in the 2 events here at the end of January, beginning of February. 9th place with over 7 meters to find, and completing the top 10, Sara Pokorny of Austria, and she is 8 meters off, with Zhana Hlukova of the Ukraine in 12th place, just behind Julina Klaibic, the leading athlete in the Women's Intercontinental Cup rankings for the season. So we'll take a little pause for the moment, enjoy the lovely sunshine here in Lillehammer at the northern end of Norway's biggest lake. It's always a joy to come here. There you can see the town stretched out before you. And as you walk down the hill into the town, on the right-hand side is the famous Birkebeiner Hotel where so many of the athletes stay. Lovely, lovely place. Great hospitality, excellent food, and a wonderful place to be. And I'm so happy to see that the athletes have had these really inviting conditions today, and let's hope we get them for the second round. The men competing later in the afternoon tomorrow. As you get later in the day here and the sun goes down behind the mountains, so the backwind comes in, so that may play its part tomorrow in the men's competition. And just a reminder of the Junior Worlds, the title held by Norway, Mitskogen last year in Lake Placid. The last Slovenian to win, Tina Ilsa in Planica in 2024. The last Canadian, Alexandria Lutit in 2023 in Whistler. Nika Preutz for Slovenia in Zakopane in 2022. Thea Bjerseth for Norway in 2021 in Lahti. Marita Kramer, the last Austrian in 2020 for Oberwiesenthal. Some of the fantastic young sportswomen who've won this title. I've only talked about the gold medalists. There have been some other really talented athletes who've ended up on the podium. But we'll just pause for a moment as the athletes get ready, a chance to check the videos from their coaches and also to hand their skis back to the servicemen to make sure that everything is in 100% order for the final round. Back for that momentarily. So the second round, the medal round, just a few minutes away, which gives me the opportunity to whet your appetite for the men's junior world individual title on this very hill tomorrow. 4:30 Central European time, the time to start. A massive number of athletes at the moment training, 72 athletes from 21 countries, really healthy. And amongst the challengers tomorrow on the start list, the name that really springs out is the young man who won the junior world title for the last 2 seasons, Austria's Stefan Embacher. What a remarkable season he's had already. 6 podiums in the World Cup, which have earned him 7th place in the World Cup ranking. But that's nothing compared with the fact that he's an Olympic gold medalist from the Super Cup team in Milan Cortina Predazzo. Was 19th at the beginning of January, which has qualified him to go for a 3rd consecutive junior world title. And of course, he was also the bronze medalist in the FIS Schanzen, the 4 hills this year. An unbelievable season he's having. He's not the only World Cup athlete who succeeded. Kasper Tomasiak, a couple of 5th places in the World Cup, his best, and those were terrific. And although he's outside the top 15, 3 medals in the Olympic Games. A silver on the normal hill, a bronze on the big hill, a silver in the Super Cup team. What a season at the age of just 19 he is. And also in the lineup, United States, represented by Jason Colby, their number 1 for the season, 19 years of age, from Steamboat Springs, 7th in Engelberg before Christmas, his best ever World Cup result. 9th in the Junior Worlds last season in Lake Placid on home snow. And frustratingly 4th in the Continental Cup in the Lillehammer competition here before the turn of the year. Also in the lineup, Ilya Mezernik for Kazakhstan, the Youth Olympic Games of 2024. He took the gold medal there in Gangwon. And Felix Strunz for Switzerland, another World Cup athlete, son of Martin Strunz. And he's in the lineup. And also Hector Kapustik, whose sister is in the lineup, as you see the athletes who've qualified for this medal round. Kira Kapustikova in 9th place at the halfway stage. But Indrakova at the moment in gold, Mitz Kogan, the defending champion, in silver. Capucine Melznil of France in bronze. 14 meters separating the top 30, 12 meters separating the top 20, 5 meters separating, or I should say 8 meters separating the top 10, 3 meters separating the top 5. A lovely, lovely day in Lillehammer in Norway, but you can see the wind here. It's going to be a real factor. We started with gate 16. We ended up with gate 15. This is going to be a little more challenging for the jury. Chief of competition here is Robert Selbek Hansen. Reed Zuelke of the United States is the technical delegate. Maya Balazak Dolonec is the assistant technical delegate, with Jerome Rome Gay. The 5 judges in box A: Tom Norman, Lambert Grill from Austria, Czesmir Kozicek from the Czech Republic, Mike Stilo from Germany, and Patrick Meissen from Switzerland. And just a reminder, the hill size here is 98 meters, the calculation line 90 meters, the meter factor for bonus and deductions 2 points per meter. Headwind factor is 8 points, the backwind factor is 9.68, the gate factor is 7 points. And we're almost ready to go. 30 athletes from 16 countries in this final medal round. And clearly the athletes we see first, who've got something like 7 meters to make up, to equalize with the leaders at the end of the first round. That's a very tall order. But what they'll be trying to do is to improve on what they did in the first round. Ranking positions are important because ranking positions count towards financial support and continuing support from their national federations. So even though there are only 3 medals at stake, every position counts and it matters a great deal. These are young ladies, girls, on their way, who knows, to maybe the very top, to emulate the likes of Nika Preots. Nika, incredibly just a year older than many of the young women who are in this competition, and looking set to collect her 3rd in a row Crystal Globe for the Women's World Cup title, and that is a quite incredible feat. Kika Sakamoto will be first to take her turn. Kika, 18 years of age, who was inside the top 25 last season in the Junior Worlds, and actually in Lake Placid last year in the World Cup was 33rd in the full Women's World Cup, not far off her first ever Winter World Cup points. She will get us underway, and she is, well, about 14 meters behind Agnieszka Indrakova for the Czech Republic. If Agnieszka Indrakova can win this competition, it would be a super boost for the Czech team. So sit back with myself, David Goldstrom, and the FIS team. Great to have you aboard FIS TV. A really busy time these last weeks of the World Cup season, of the Junior World Championships. So much to look forward to. Not least the women having their first opportunity to fly in Planica right at the end of the campaign. What a finale it's going to be in Slovenia, in Planica. Let's hope we have the same weather, these beautiful blue skies here. Let's hope we have that in Planica. Really good facilities, excellent hospitality. You can see the strength of the wind. That is a little bit of a concern at the moment. And we might well see 1 or 2 test jumpers for the jury to help them make the decision as to which gate we should come out of. It's on the cards that we're going to go down with this strength of wind. The objective to ensure that everybody has a fair opportunity, but also a safe opportunity, paramount in the world of ski jumping, a sport in which you need athletic ability, you need courage, balance, power and strength. You do a lot of gym work in the world of ski jumping to allow you to have the strength to explode off the table and to get into the air to start your flight. But if it's successful, then the feeling of flying is like no other. Everybody just waiting at the moment for the jury decision. Really important that all of these women have a fair and safe opportunity. The favourites clearly are the women who are in the top 5. Indrakova of the Czech Republic, Mitskogan, the defending champion, Caroline Mesnil for France, Kovacic for Slovenia, Isadora Kopac for Slovenia, and Sandra Spoch. They have the best chance of standing on the podium at the end of the competition. In the world of ski jumping, we have many stepping stones. FIS Cup, Alpine Cup, Continental Cup, Intercontinental Cup, World Cup. But these Junior World Championships are really, really important. They are a stepping stone, and there, as I predicted, we've got a break because the jury feel that the wind conditions are not stable and too difficult to manage, so we take a pause. Not a problem. We do have time this afternoon, and hopefully you have time to be a little patient with us so that we can bring you this medal round. Now, what I don't have is information at the moment as to the duration of the windbreak. There you get an impression of this lovely and impressive stadium. And the town of Lillehammer. It's one of the nicest journeys up from Oslo, whether you come by coach or come by train. I prefer train. And there we have the timing, so we're, what, 15, 16 minutes away from the start of the first round, and hopefully things will calm down. Now, the reason why we've had this windbreak is that it's gusted to a strength which takes us outside the corridor of tolerance and takes us to a zone which is unstable and therefore unreliable, and it's the right decision to take a pause. As I said, we're fortunately early enough in the afternoon to be able to afford that, so hopefully you don't feel too frustrated. It's not too long to wait, really. Looking ahead, of course, as I mentioned, to the men, they have their opportunity. The individual Junior World Championships for men get underway at 4:30 Central European time tomorrow. And then, of course, after that, we have the team competitions. The team competitions for women were introduced in 2011 in Otapa. And of course we have the mixed teams as well, introduced in 2016 in Lake Placid. Slovenia were the mixed team champions ahead of the United States and Austria. Well, I mentioned the women's team event. It was Otapa in 2011, but that was cancelled due to heavy winds. Erzurum saw Japan win the title in 2012. Most recently in Lake Placid, Germany took the women's title ahead of Slovenia and Japan. In the men's team competition. Austria are the defending champions, ahead of Slovenia and Russia, who were involved in 2025. Austria also won in 2024 in Planica. They also won in Whistler in 2023. They won in Zakopane in 2022. They won in Lahti in 2021. They've been the dominant force in the men's team event. And just a reminder of what we bring you on FIS TV. We have the World Cup competitions coming up. Lahti for the men and the women, then to Holmenkollen, to Oslo, Raw Air, and into Vikersund on ski flying hill, number 2 in the World Cup, and then to Planica for the finale of the season. And what a season it's been. I hope you enjoyed the Winter Olympics, not just the ski jumping, but the whole competition. I think the Italians did an excellent job. And there were so many great moments. Johannes Kleibo for the Norwegians. What a highlight to have a champion like Johannes Kleibo. 6 events, 6 gold medals. And now he's thinking of maybe taking on the sport of cycling. Very interesting. Slovenia's ski jumpers have done extremely well by opting for that route in the Tour de France and the major Grand Tours. I wonder whether Kleibo will go down that road at the moment, thinking about it, thinking about what new challenge he could take on board. The Norwegians had great success in the Nordic Combined with Jens Lure, Jens Oftebro. 3 gold medals. In fact, when you take Kleibo's medals and Oftebro's medals and you add them together, 9 in total, that's actually half of the 18 which the Norwegians got, and ended up heading yet again the Olympic winter medal table. Well, if Capucine Mesnil for France, who lies in 3rd place at the moment, if she was to win this afternoon, she would, if I'm right, be the first French woman to win this title since Colleen Mattel's triumph. That was in Otepää in 2011. It's Kogan, of course, to try and defend her title, and the Slovenians, through the likes of Nika Brejoc, no strangers to success, and Nika Voden, also the winner in Kandersteg in 2018. What's really interesting is that the Austrians, Sara Pokorny, in 10th place is their highest place, and she's about 8 meters off the lead. So quite a challenge for her to emulate the likes of Marita Kramer, who was the last Austrian to win this competition. Raina Lichman for Canada. Also a bit of a tall task, 12-13 meters off the lead, but really good to see a Canadian in the final here. And also the Latvian Krasil Shikova. Those two are literally together at the halfway stage. So less than 10 minutes to go to hopefully the start of the final medal round. This is not surprising here. You can see the wind has actually softened a little bit. The flags were 100% horizontal. They're now a little bit drooped, so to speak. Not quite as standout as they were. And the weekend, of course, very special for both Nika Preutz and Domen Preutz. Domen, the dominator, or dominator as they're calling him. Really outstanding, the performance, and as I've said on many occasions, what an outstanding year Domen Preutz has had. It's not just this season, it's from Trondheim last year where he won the large hill, big hill individual gold medal, and although it's just over a year, it's an unbelievable year. There are many fantastic athletes, not least Matti Nykänen of Finland, who were terrific, but Domen Preutz has been rewriting the record books when you consider what he's done. Four Hills champion, ski flying world champion this season, 2 Olympic gold medals, leading the World Cup, new hill record at Kulm, taking over the hill record from his brother Petter Preutz, and looking likely to emulate his big brother Petter by taking the overall men's World Cup. And what about sister Nika? Not to be forgotten. I mean, Domen, if he does succeed, will be winning his first overall season-long World Cup, whereas sister Nika, it'll be 3 in a row. Just a reminder also on FISski.com, an opportunity for you to have a look at our highlights and the stories that are specially recorded from each of the athletes, to record their experiences, so much more to gain, to learn a little bit more or feel a little bit more about them personally. So if you have a few moments or two to go to FISski.com, I urge you to do so, because there's plenty to enjoy there. On FISski.com, we have a story about brother and sister Nika and Domen Preutz, looking forward to securing the Crystal Globe titles. Something to look forward to, and also some of the young talents in the Junior World Championships. It's worth remembering that it isn't just ski jumping that's taking place here in Lillehammer, it's Nordic Combined and also cross-country. We have highlights of the Junior World Championships in all disciplines on FISski.com. So we'd be delighted if you take advantage of catching up and having a look at those. Plenty of videos, and also a chance to look back at the season to some of your favorite moments. Also, of course, the Paralympics about to be upon us, and hopefully that's going to go without a hitch. Of course, the conflict in Iran and the Middle East has caused many a problem with the athletes trying to travel to Italy. And as I mentioned, Stefan Embacher setting out tomorrow to ...20 years of age, and already has been making his mark at every level. Twice a runner-up behind Domen Preutz the last weekend in Kulm in the World of Ski Flying, representing Austria, and a couple of their athletes, Stefan Kraft, subpar at the moment, Jan Hurl, missing from the World Cup circuit with back pain. Stefan Embacher has been filling in brilliantly. Here we go, gate 15 for the start of the medal round. A pause, though, before we do get underway. Kika Sakamoto lying in 30th place, 14 meters behind. If you are just joining us, you're very welcome here on FIS TV. I'm David Goldstrom, together with the FIS TV team, on a gorgeous day in Lillehammer on the normal hill, on which Espen Bredesen back in 1994 won the Olympic gold medal for Norway with his teammate Lasse Ottesen in silver, and Dieter Thoma of Germany in the bronze medal. Wonderful pedigree. This is a hill which has been used extensively by both the men and the women over the years. And just a reminder that most recently, in January, the 31st of January, Kapustikova of Slovakia won the Continental Cup here. Juliana Krajbic, I should say, won on the 1st of February. Those were the two successful athletes who were involved in today's competition, but Krajbic quite a way down the order with a lot to do to get herself back into medal contention. Outside the top 10. There where the blue and the red carpets meet, that is the calculation line, the hill size, the lower red line, beautifully prepared hill. The hill to the left of your picture, of course, the big hill that was used for the Women's World Cup. The women who've been competing here since 2008. Alyssa Johnson of the United States was successful here ahead of Jessica Jerome and the legendary Austrian Uli Gräsler. Linia of Norway, another legend in women's ski jumping, successful on this hill. Not once, but twice in 2008 and 2009. 2009, she held off Sarah Hendrickson of the United States and Yuki Ito. Sarah, who went on to win the women's world title, senior world title. Yuki Ito, twice a runner-up in the women's senior title. So Lillehammer, really a wonderful place with a great history. The first World Cup here, well, that was won by Sada Takanashi of Japan. Well, she didn't win just once. She won twice, did the double on the 2nd and 3rd of December 2016. So a lot of the women, both in World Cup and Intercontinental Cup, are familiar. They love coming here. It's a place where you're really well looked after. There on the right-hand side, you can see the commentary boxes. I think these are some of the best commentary boxes in the world. They give you a wonderful view of the flying curve. So we're a couple of minutes beyond the revised time. We were momentarily about to start with gate 15, but again the jury have decided to have a little pause, but I don't think it's going to be much longer. Certainly that was absolutely horizontal, and this is the moment where you hope the commentator's curse is not going to come in and suddenly defy everything you've just said. One or two Vorspringer test jumpers for the jury before we get underway, just to be sure that we've got the right gait, the right speed. Kika Sakamoto should be invited to get out onto the bar momentarily. Just sitting there patiently, the 18-year-old Japanese athlete resting on her Slatners there. Top 25 in the junior worlds last season. Bronze medal with the Japanese team in the women's team event. And you can see the effort that the local organizers have made to get everything ready. A shield over the athletes so that the sun is not too bad, and the wind just dropping, which allows them to revise the gate from 15 maybe to 17. We'll get a check in a moment. A little more in-run speed for the best 30 who've qualified. Now, could be actually higher than I anticipate. It could be 19, actually. So Kika clips on, slides out onto the bar. Sit back and enjoy this medal round with FIS TV. This is the round that will decide gold, silver and bronze in the women's individual normal hill junior world title for 2026 here in Lillehammer. Kika Sakamoto of Japan to get us underway. Sakamoto, you can see 88 meters, 28 points off the lead. At the halfway stage, that's 14 big meters. Can't make up that deficit, but can strive for an improvement to get a higher ranking position. And as I mentioned, ranking positions really important. They very much determine the level of support, future funding that each of these youngsters may receive. Just waiting at the moment. And asked to take another port. It's just gusted, just gone outside the corridor of tolerance. So this may be something of a staccato round, but it's, fortunately, we're in the situation that we have time to be able to manage this. So we may not have settled the gate. As you see, the style judges peering out here. Their job is so important. What's really important is, as a style judge, to really mark in front of you what you see in front of you. Never mark on someone's historical performances, whether they had good performances and always got marked high, or whether they always miss the telemark and get low. It's really important to mark according to what you see. And their decisions may well determine at the end of this day who stands on the top step of the podium. So Kika's done the right thing to unclip, and when you get a delay like this, it's really important just to keep calm. It's also worth remembering that all of these athletes have prepared for their planned start time, so they have to make adjustments. A number of them going back into the warm-up room or the rest area, although the weather today pretty nice, fortunately. Reid Azualke of America is the technical delegate, effectively the chairman of the jury. And Reid and Maya and Jerome are the three who will make the decision. The race director and the assistant race director, they effectively take the decision of the jury. They're not part of that decision-making combination. So once again, your patience is asked for. I'm sorry that we're that far behind. We're about half an hour behind our scheduled restart time for the final round. But the wind does keep fluctuating here. It's changed both in strength quite a lot, but also direction, as you can see. The flags being blown as an updraft. So we've not had an official piece of information from the jury as to their decision. Clearly we're in a second windbreak. It looks as if we were going to get underway. Now another challenge. Fortunately, the men have also had their opening training sessions, so they're no strangers to the hill. Thinking about the men's competition, well, Stefan Embacher, as I mentioned, this wonderful 20-year-old Austrian who's had such a fantastic season, going for a third title. Vilho Palasari was the Finnish champion of Whistler 2023 for the Junior World Championships of that year. Daniel Schöfenig, who last season won the Four Hills and the World Cup, won this title in 2022. Others who've won it in the past: Marius Lindvig, champion in Kandersteg in 2018. Johan Andre Forfang in Almaty in 2015. Familiar names, of course, from the World Cup. Vladimir Zagravsky for Bulgaria, champion in Otepää in 2011. Mickey Heibeck in 2010 in Hinterzarten. Mickey now, of course, retired. Gregor Schlierenzauer, the legend that is Gregor Schlierenzauer. 2006 in Kran in Slovenia was the junior world champion. Thomas Morgenstern in Sollefteå in Sweden in 2003. Jani Harpunen for Finland in Schönach in 2002 in the Schwarzwald. Wolfgang Leutzel, another famous name, won this junior world title in Saint Moritz in 1998. Tommy Ingebrigtsen in 1995 won it in Gällivare for the Norwegians before he went on in the same season to win the senior world title in Thunder Bay in Canada. Jani Ahonen, junior world champion in 1993 and 1994. Tony Nieminen, Olympic champion in 1992. Well, he won the junior worlds in 1992 in Vuokatti. And there an announcement from the jury that they've decided that the conditions are unmanageable. Now, at the moment, we're just after 3 o'clock. So that's quite a postponement. So that's a postponement of an hour and 20 minutes, basically. (16:30) Central European time for the final round, and that's why they asked the young women to go back into the warm-up room. This is quite disruptive because you plan your day in terms of warm-up and preparation and the food you eat, and when you get a delay like this, it sort of can throw you off course. So this is where the athletes will be careful about what they think to eat and drink. They will have something. There's plenty provided in the warm-up room, and so that's not an issue, but this was not expected. But you have to expect the unexpected. That's what their coaches would always have them prepared to do. And this is where you need to relax, take it in your stride, not tighten up, not get anxious, not get disappointed. Just take it step by step. So inevitably, we're going to take a little pause, as this is a significant delay. And the reason they've gone for that length of delay is for the sun to go down behind the mountain as it comes off the hill. The thermic conditions will change, possibly even to backwind, and that will become much more manageable. So we may not get the great distances that we hope for. The hill record, incidentally, for the men on this hill is Karl Geiger's from Germany, 107.5 meters, set in 2013. So thank you for your patience. I hope you can rejoin us here on FIS TV. 4:30. So what is that? That's an hour and 15 minutes. Please come back to us in an hour so that we can set up and let you know what's happening for the all-important medal round of the Women's Junior World Championships on this normal hill for 2026. For the moment, we'll go and have a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or something like that, but we'll be back in good time for this final round.
skal vi gå opp isteden? Vil du det? Hvis du hadde så bra resultat med å stå på der, så... Men sant, for du ser for eksempel 5, 6, 7 og det ser jo jævlig bra her, altså. Men du har bra å gå på.
Well, once again, a very warm welcome on behalf of FIS TV to Lillehammer after a prolonged delay because of the strong winds. The final round, fingers crossed, about to get underway here in the Women's Junior World Championship of 2026. It's been a pretty lovely day, but you can see that the skies changed from the perfect blue sky that we had earlier this morning. A little bit overcast, but as the sun goes down behind the mountain, the temperature drops, so does the thermic pressure, and fingers crossed that we can have a really good round. Now, if you are just joining us for the first time, 30 have made it through to the final round, and it's quite a competitive affair on this normal hill that was constructed in 1992 for the Winter Olympics of 1994 and is a familiar competition site to very many of the competitors. In the lead at the halfway stage after the first round, Agnieszka Indrakova of the Czech Republic, a distance of 95 meters on this hill, where, as you can see, the calculation line is 90 meters, the hill size is 98, a bonus of 2 points for every meter beyond 90, a deduction of 2 points for every meter short. And here are the 5 judges marking out of 20, as ever, highest and lowest marks taken away. The other 3 star marks added, and the key individual on that list is Reed from the United States, who's effectively the chairman of the jury, calling the decisions. And these are the 30 who will take their turn. Separated by 14 meters, Kika Sakamoto from Indrakova from the first round. The top 20, 12 meters separating them. The top 10, 8 meters, and the top 6 or 5 really, 3 meters. And there, 29, Ingvild Midskoken, the defending champion for Norway. Many of these athletes have experience on this hill, but there are 1 or 2 who are really quite novice. These are juniors, ranging from ages 15 to 19, who've been competing in all grades, the Alpine Cup, the lowest level at 4th grade, the FIS Cup, the 3rd level, Continental Cup, or in the women's competition, Intercontinental Cup, and then World Cup, of course. The wind, as you can see, still pretty strong. A great venue and a lovely place to be. They really do look after you well here. And there, the athletes getting ready. Fingers crossed that the jury and everyone can manage this to ensure that we have a safe and fair competition for all of the athletes. As I said in the first round, there are only 3 medals up for grabs, gold, silver and bronze. But where you finish in this Junior World Championship is really important. The higher you finish, the better ranking, and potentially the greater support from your federation and financial support as well. Many of these youngsters hope to go on to, well, they hope to do as well as Nika Preuc from Slovenia. That is, of course, saying quite something. Nika and Domen in Finland, on the eve, really, of potentially both of them finally achieving the Crystal Globe, the overall World Cup Championship in women's and men's events in the Wiesmann-supported World Cup of ski jumping for 2026. Not too many here, the supporters generally from the teams. The boys, they have their individual world championships, and that's going to be a milestone. Stefan Embacher, the junior world champion of the last 2 years, Olympic gold medalist, bronze medalist from the 4 hills, is looking for his third title. You'd think that he might frighten away the opposition, but there are actually 72 from 21 countries on the training list. He's not the only World Cup athlete involved in tomorrow's individual competition. Ilya Mazurnik for Kazakhstan, Felix Truns for Switzerland, and also the extremely talented Kasper Tomasiak for Poland, just to mention a few. So this could be quite some competition tomorrow. Stefan Embacher, though, inevitably with the season that he's had, which is, I say, breakthrough season, he really has announced himself. Very interesting, because a year ago we were all talking about Daniel Schöffenig, Four Hills champion, overall World Cup champion in his breakthrough season, and now another Austrian has really come to the fore. And it's interesting because Embacher is top 10 in the men's World Cup listing, and you might have thought that he'd be intent on focusing on Lahti, but desperately wanted to come here to make it 3 in a row. So the first youngster on the hill will be Kika Sakamoto of Japan to get us underway. Kika, who has competed in Junior World Championships before. She was in Lake Placid last year, top 25. Yet to score any Winter World Cup points, although she got pretty close in Lake Placid last season when she was 33rd, just outside the top 30. And it's been really encouraging this season to see some of the next generation coming through from Japan and Kazakhstan making a few steps forward. A little bit of encouragement for Finland as well. Austria with a terrific reservoir of talent, although interesting today, somewhat surprisingly, Sara Bocconi of Austria lying in 10th place at the halfway stage, their highest ranked athlete. And Julina Krajbic, leader in the Intercontinental Cup women's rankings, disappointing the young German outside the top 10, and she's certainly one of the pre-competition favorites. So Sakamoto just getting ready here, sliding out onto the bar. We're just waiting to see the decision of the jury in terms, or confirm the gate plan. Sakamoto, 88 meters in the first round, 28.8 her deficit to Indrakova from the first round. That equates to 14 meters, and here she goes. Looking for that 90-meter line, but short of that. Disappointing second effort there from her. You always look to improve if you can. Gate 16, by the way. Mesikova for Slovakia, really disappointed after her first flight to be so far down the order. Mid-80s, 85.5 meters for Tamara Mesikova, who should have been a lot higher. We're looking for more than 200 points for that threshold of respectability, but this is all about medals. Front wind conditions at the moment for Saiko Fujimoto, wearing bib number 1, another Japanese qualifier for this final round, 19 years of age. Fujimoto, a couple of 9th place finishes in the Intercontinental Summer Cup, her best ever. second place at the moment, but not setting the world alight, unfortunately. Aida Kozniak of Slovenia, surprised again to see her going so early. That's a little better, and it makes up a little bit of ground there for Kozniak. 7th in the Intercontinental Cup women's rankings before today, takes the lead. But for these early starters, really they need to be heavily into the 90s, over 95 meters at least, to make an impression. Spiridenko now for the Kazakhs. Barely 80 meters, that. I'm not sure she even reached 80 meters. Oh, she did. Confirmed there, but 25% of her style marks virtually wiped out there. Getting the telemark on the end is really important to avoid a 3-point deduction. And Stebankova next to go. This first ever Junior World Championships. Again, a lot of star marks, sacrifice, mid 80s, mid 90s as it were. Has experience from Lillehammer, and Victoria Ruleva now could well go into the lead here, Ruleva. If she gets this right, gets the timing right. The balance was a little bit off, but the distance is there, almost 90, I think. Ruleva.
Det var ikke bare en halvmeter fra streken, altså. Det nekker.
89.5 meters, and indeed does go into first place for Kazakhstan. And Nezhedlova for the Czech Republic, with of course her teammate Indrakova, who'll be last to come off the end of the table. Low 80s for this woman. And unfortunately, that really doesn't help her. Bib number 27, Luis Tricher for Austria. Reasonable height over the knoll. That's much, much better and much more like it. Only 16 years of age from Ramsau. A couple of really good efforts, 93 meters. That's what she was doing in training. Now she's done it in competition. So this is catch up, almost 200 points. Good effort, and Austria take the advantage. A long way to go. Elita Krasilshikova for Latvia. Oh, I'm not sure about the landing, whether it was two-footed. I don't think that's going to get a telemark. 77 meters. And that's a disappointment. 93 in the first round. And it really highlights the importance of being able to put two really good efforts together. Raina Lichman for Canada now. Hails from the famous Altius Club. 95 meters earlier this morning in the trial round. That's what she needed right here, right now. But that's closer to 85 rather than 95, 85.5 meters. Rainer just outside the top 20 a little earlier in this year in Kran in Slovenia on the normal hill there. Luis Tricher for Austria leading from Rainer Lichman, who goes into second place. Releva of Kazakhstan drops to third, Aida Kozniak, and now Mathilde Baconier from the Club des Sports Courchevel. A number of athletes coming out of that Club des Sports and Club des Sports Chamonix. This is an 18-year-old. Colleen Mattel, the one French woman to have won the junior world title. Way back. Not even 80 meters, I don't think, for Mathilde. 77, that's a setback, a step back rather than a step forward. And Austria still with the advantage. Tovovsek for Slovenia. We're now into this group of athletes who were about 12 meters behind the likes of Indrakova and Midskogen at the halfway stage. This is a little better, over 90 meters. Again, the first effort really set the seal on her day. Third best in the Intercontinental Cup rankings, but one of the pre-competition favorites. And this is Rungaldier. Not related to Elena, who won this title for Italy back in 2010. I can't emphasize too much that you really do need to get over 90 meters here, and a long way beyond it. Leonie Rungaldier into the top 10. Turbovsek into the lead narrowly as a result of her advantage over Luis Tricher. So Slovenia with the advantage. Yuzuki Sato for Japan. That looked pretty good. That's a little better. That makes up a little ground for Yuzuki. 19 years of age from the Tokyo Biso Group Team Club into second place, 200 points. The second athlete to gather in 200 points. Slovenia, Japan, Austria, the 1, 2, 3, and now Anja Imhoff, the sister to Remy Imhoff. Low 80s, mid 80s actually for Anja. Only 16, plenty of time, just outside the top 30 in the Junior Worlds last year in Lake Placid. This time she's going to get a position inside the top 30. They are being released pretty quickly here. Julia Aikio of Finland, another youngster, and that's a pretty good effort. 95.5 meters to take the lead. I'd had my eyes on a different Finn, Usha Ture, who'd been so good in training, always over 90 meters and in the trial round, but didn't go her way. Meggy Lou Schmidt for Germany. Meggy Lou, mid-80s. So Julia Aikio of Finland in the lead. From Slovenia, from Japan. Luis Tricher of Austria down in fourth place off the podium. And that's what this is about. It's about medals as Slukova of Ukraine prepares. 12th place at the halfway stage. 17 points behind Indrakova. Needs a lot of meters. And that's again another athlete in the mid-80s. Not even 85, 84 meters. It's been noticeable that we've not had an 18 in the style marks. Highly relevant. And now Julina Krajbic, Intercontinental Cup female leader, to make amends, needs very, very big meters. Not enough, not her day. Krajbic, one of the pre-competition favorites. Top 10 in the Junior Worlds last year in Lake Placid with a gold medal with the German team. A truly disappointing day for her. Off into 4th place, no change to the podium. And now the top 10, separated by 8 meters, and it's Austria. Austria's last chance. Sarah Pokorny. Again, that's short of 90 meters. Pokorny, all of them will have worked out how much they actually need. Another athlete who last year was outside the top 30 in this competition, but at least inside the top 30. But Julia Aikira of Finland with 214 points. That's 13 points clear of the nearest opposition. And here's Kira Maria Kapustikova. 1st and 4th in the Intercontinental Cup here. And she's over 90 meters. Kapustikova. Don't worry about the tumble. It's the points and the meters she needs. 91 meters in the first round, 93.5 now. Put the two together. She goes into 1st place for Slovakia. Her brother involved in tomorrow's individual men's big hill competition. And so too another Finn to try and regain the advantage, Sofia Mattila. Good takeoff, nice balance, and that's over 95 meters. Sofia Mattila, really good effort. Sofia shaking up the order there. Over 90 meters twice in training and in the trial round. And Mattila regains the advantage for the Finns. And now this is Anna Frey Schaffenberg for Germany. Germany's last opportunity. Around 90 there for her. Schaffenberg. 3rd this season in Oberhof, home snow in the Continental Cup. And top 20 in the Junior Worlds of 2023 in Whistler. Sandra Sprock for the United States. Needs to lay down some heavy meters here. As you can see, over 95, 96, 97 needed. That's short of 90. Sandra, who was in Lake Placid, 17th last year at the Junior Worlds. Sandra Sprock into 5th place. Mattila of Finland, Schaffenberg for Germany, Kapustikova for Slovakia, the 1, 2, 3. And now the challenge from Slovenia, Isadora Kopac. This looks not too bad. 2-footed landing though. And this is going to cost her a lot of star points. It's fine trying to get bonus points for distance, but not when you sacrifice star points. And the story will be told on the right-hand side of your screen. These will be heavy, heavy deductions. They're going to cost her a lot of points. 10s and 12s. If she'd got 16s, she's given away at least 12 points. That's 6 meters worth. Her teammate, Maja Kovacic for Slovenia. Maja Kovacic lying in 4th place, inside 3 meters behind the best at the halfway stage. Maja, 91 meters, her first round. Less than 6 points behind Agnieszka Indrakova of the Czech Republic. Just to remind you, Finland in gold, Germany in silver, Kapustikova in bronze. Gate 16 and just outside the corridor of tolerance. Four to go in this final round, which will determine who will be the champion. And there you can see it. Mattila with a 6 meter advantage over Scharfenberg, 7 clear of Kapustikova. And the wind strengthening, and we go down a gate. Now, when we go down a gate, then there are gate compensation points of 5.6 points, which the athlete can use to cancel out front wind deductions. About half a meter less of in-run here. Pity that we had to change and couldn't keep the final round on the same gate. 92.5 meters the target for this talented Slovenian. Maja, 19 years of age. A winner at Intercontinental Cup level a couple of seasons ago in Eisenherz. Needs to get more than 91, 92 meters to put pressure on the remaining 3 who are in the medal positions, and that's over 90, but I think that she really needed to get 95 meters to put pressure on. 91.5, misses the gold. Finland stays ahead. Capucine Mesnil for France. 94 meters. There you can see needs about the same, and she hasn't managed to get it past the calculation line. Real disappointment for the young Frenchwoman. Now she's going to drop down the order, Mesnil, down to 5th place. And so to the defending champion, the youngest senior world champion ever with the Norwegian team. A year ago in Trondheim with Anna Ström, this year's Olympic medalist in Milan Cortina Predazzo, with Heidi Trasserud and with Irene Kvandal. This the defense of her title, over 92 meters to overtake Sofia Fatila. And that's more than 92. Mitz Kogan goes into gold. 93.5 meters. Still 17s, the best of the style marks. 17.5, 17.5, 3 of them. Norway in gold. Finland in silver. Kovacic for Slovenia in bronze. And now Agnieszka Indrakova. Indrakova, 8th in the Junior Worlds last year, representing the Czech Republic. There's the target. 95 meters to get the gold, the famous gold, and that is it. She's done it. No telemark, but 98 meters And Agnieszka Intrakova for the Czech Republic will win the junior world title, surely. At the age of 19, 236.2 points. She denies Mitz Kogan, she denies Sofia Matila, and she wins by, 2.2 points, just about a meter. But it is Intrakova for the Czech Republic, who is junior world champion in Lillehammer for 2026. Mitz Kogan, the winner in 2025 in Lake Placid, has to settle for the silver, and Sofia Matila of Finland, that's a really excellent bronze for her. Maja Kovacic for Slovenia in fourth. Anna Faye Schaffenberg, the best for Germany, in fifth. Kia Maria Kapustikova for sixth place, and Capuchin Mesnil finishes in seventh place. And here's the confirmation. Well, what a day for Agnieszka Intrakova. One of two sisters. Involved in the sport, and this will be so good. This is a terrific boost for the Czechs. She's the younger member of the family, Karolina. Her sister, 28 years of age. Intrakova, Agnieszka, just 19.
Ready?
So, equipment checks have to be made.
Yes. Congrats with the gold.
Thank you so much.
It's the biggest for you.
Yeah, I think this is the biggest achievement I've ever done, so I'm really grateful for this and I'm really happy.
You compete in many World Cups, and this is junior. What do you say?
Again, please, sorry.
This is junior World Championships. What do you say?
It's absolutely amazing. I mean, I've done so many World Championships, I guess, at least the juniors ones. I had Olympics 2 weeks ago, now I'm here and I won. And that's amazing. I did a great job, I think. I worked for this really hard this season, and yeah, there's the result, and amazing.
You are number 33 in the World Cup. Is Vikersund next goal for you?
Yeah, and I was looking forward to jumping in Vikersund this season, but unfortunately I missed so many World Cups, so I wasn't able to get as many points as is need for the flying. But yeah, at least I have the goal for next season.
Well, she did a really great
Thank you so
job
much.
today, and I hope that this is the springboard and the platform for her. She joins some very famous Czechs who've won titles. The first Czech to win a junior world championship was actually a chap called Pavel Fisek way back in 1977 at the beginning of the men's junior worlds. But winning a title for your country is really special. Jaroslav Sakalo has won the ski flying title, and Jakob Jander, of course, the Four Hills title.
No, it's nice to get silver. I'm happy. I'm just not working right now. Sorry.
But this is better than before the season, Ingvild?
No, it's not better than before. I got gold last year, but I'm still happy with silver. Yeah.
But I know you maybe the next goal for you is Vikersund.
Yes, it's weekend. Yeah. So I will go to Lahti now, and yeah, try to do my best and gain as many points as possible.
Of course, congrats to the silver.
Thank you.
Well, Miss Kogan inevitably will be a little disappointed because she came here to
Sophia,
defend her
congrats with the
gold
bronze.
medal. Nonetheless, she's an athlete
The
to
biggest result for
keep your
you.
eye on.
Definitely, yes.
Tell me about the jumps.
First jump was kind of long, but I didn't do that well. The telemarks.
And
but I'm
Sofia
happy with
Matila
that.
of Finland. This
Congrats
is
with the bronze.
really, really good news to see a Finn on the podium. The Finns who've been in the doldrums in terms of achievements. And a few words, but let's keep her name on the short list as we look forward to these youngsters graduating into World Cup. One or two, like Mits Kogan, who have already been involved in World Cup. In fact, Mits Kogan has been as good as fifth in Lillehammer in previous events at World Cup level. But the vast majority of these athletes have graduated through children's races, through the Alpine Cup, the FIS Cup, into Intercontinental Cup. And so we've come to the end of today's competition. It's been a long day for the athletes with a uncharacteristically long break. We had to wait for the sun to go down, for the wind to stabilize sufficiently for this competition to get underway. And so congratulations again to Agnieszka Indrakova for the gold medal achievement. Indrakova, 95 meters in the first round, 98 meters in the second round, 236.2 points. 2 points, 2.3 points clear of Ingrid Mits Kogan. That's just over a meter. Sofia Matila in third place, the bronze medal. A first round effort of 99 meters and then 97. And ending up with the bronze medal, missing out on the goal by just over 3 meters. And then for Maja Kovacic, that horrible fourth place finish where you feel that you're so near, but in this case so far, because she was 11 points off the gold and about 5 points off the bronze, more than 2 meters off the bronze, so really wasn't knocking on that particular door. Schaffenberg, the best for Germany. Kapustikova, Kira Kapustikova, the best for Slovakia. Capucine Mesnil in 7th place for France. Then Julia Ikea in 8th place for Finland. 2 Finns in the top 10. Sandra Spock for the United States in 9th place. A good start with 92 meters, but needed to be well over 90 to capitalize in the final round. And then completing the top 10, Taya Turbovsek of Slovenia, one of the pre-competition favorites. Not her day. Over 90 meters in the second round, 92.5, but low 80s, 83.5 in the first round, and her chance was gone with Yuzuki Sato of Japan, the best for her country, in 11th place, ahead of Austria's Sara Pocconi in 12th place, the best of the Austrians. Well, for those of you who've been with us all through the afternoon, thank you for your patience. Thank you for your determination to see this Junior World Championships. The next stage in terms of competition comes tomorrow when the men occupy the hill for the Men's Junior Worlds that starts the first competition round at 4:30 Central European time. So hopefully the wind will have been stabilized by that time. It's similar to where we are right here, right now. So just the medals to be awarded to the first, second and third. The Women's Junior World Championships, which dates back to 2006 in Kran. Julianne Seyfarth was the winner of that particular competition, with Elena Rungoldier in the bronze medal position. And it was Elena who went on in 2010 to win the title ahead of France's Colleen Mattel. That was at Hinterzarten. And then a year later, Colleen Mattel got the gold medal for France. After that, Sara Takanashi, really terrific roll of honor. Chiara Kreutzer, Manuela Malsina for Italy, won in America in Park City. Marisa Kramer, the last of the Austrians to win. The men will get control of the hill momentarily to train this afternoon.